Mickey and Matt, yeah, they're cranking it up. Jumping down theories like a hyperactive pup. Rambo Joe lit the fuse, Dave said take control. Now we're broadcasting live above the rabbit hole. Ancient aliens, lizard kings, government plots and shadowy things. Laughing while they're chasing the truth in the dark. Are we crazy? Sure, but that's the spark. So smash that like button, buckle in tight. We're going down deeper than a cue drop tonight. 10 for shining, the jokes are rolling. Hold on folks, the truth is scrolling. Yeah, smash that like button. Welcome to the show. We're live above the rabbit hole. Mickey's on the mic, dropping jokes like bombs. Matt's taking notes while he's reading the Psalms. Bigfoot, chemtrails, a man in black. Whatever you believe, it'll make you laugh back. Was it real? Was it stage? Was the moon landing fake? Ask the boys, they know the code. Or at least they'll improvise an episode. Smash that like button, let the madness roll. Welcome to the wild side, above the rabbit hole.
If you guys would have just saw the last 90 seconds of our lives.
Fresh out of wardrobe, buddy.
All right, I just got to tell the truth.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I forgot that I'm wearing the same shirt that I did yesterday.
I hate that.
I'm not even going to lie about it, dude. I can't lie about it.
So we had options.
I thought I had a shirt here. I really did. And then I realized when I got here, oh, my God, that shirt's not here. Right?
So we were originally going to do jacket.
Right. I was going to wear the coat.
But it's 90 degrees in here.
It's a little warm in here.
Right? Yeah.
So I was like, screw that. I'm just going to turn the shirt inside out.
Right.
And then so I took my shirt off and you go, why don't you just go bareback, dude? And I swear to God, how long? I literally went like this for 30 seconds. I thought about it so hard.
Look, man, if Bert Kreischer can do it,
yeah, no,
you can do it.
By the way, I have pictures of me being that, like down to my boxers on stage 25 years ago.
It's burned into my psyche.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I have.
So whenever people say Bert Kreischer, I go, it's close to who had it.
You did it first, right?
I'm not saying that, but it's pretty close. I did it before knowing he did it.
Put a 1 in the comments right now if you think that the Mick should do the show bareback one day. 1 if you think he should do it. 2 if you would rather him not do it.
How much money would I need to raise to do it, you think?
$5.
No way.
Folks.
No, I want to raise money for charity. I'll do the whole show. And I'll even sit like this, dude. Look, I'll do hold up. Like, I'll give a full body shot.
Right.
Just letting it rip.
Yeah, are you gonna wax first? Or you just gonna go all natural?
Oh, it's this what it is, dude. 2 is to keep my clothes on, right?
You want to even clean it up a little, huh?
Is 2
we're getting a mix here, man.
Yeah,
we're getting a mix of ones and twos.
Matt?
Yeah.
You see what I'm Belushi? So
Belushi put a 3 up.
Yeah,
yes.
of course. No, but so this is what I'm saying, dude. Let's get into this because today's show.
I love this topic, by the way. I gotta say,
man, we've talked. It connects.
Yeah.
So many. You know, I always talk about my little idea, the spider web, and that little part in the middle where the spider starts.
Yeah. Well, you've seen the awakening map. Remember the awakening map that I put up on the screen before? Yeah. It's like a giant web.
So to me, what we're going to talk about today is I'm laughing at somebody's numbers as I'm trying to talk. We're going to talk to a guy that knows in a lot of detail how the money throughout history has worked and how that has controlled things. So what I like to do, like I said, before we get into it with the guest, is give my theory of it from a normie perspective. And here's what I think. The Bank of London basically is what you would call the old money of bloodlines, central hub in a sense, that sort of came from probably either Rome originally, went through Russia.
I believe it was Rome. It's been a city since Rome, right?
And I mean, you figure people go, well, Rome fell. Well, you think all the gold and shit fell too?
Yeah.
No, it went with them.
Same boundaries as it had back in the Roman days.
Exactly.
I believe.
So I think this money has made its way back. And sometime in the Middle Ages or in the, right, I believe right after like the Renaissance or sort of during it, this became a hub of finance in the world that controlled everything.
And I think there's a lot of money laundering that goes on in that city.
I think there is, like, for instance, a lot of created and manufactured things in order to make them more money, like wars. People forget that this bloodline and this sort of connection of money was in the weapons business throughout history. They built the weapons, and I don't really think they cared about who actually bought them.
Well,
right?
They can operate freely as well. I don't think that the city of London needs to answer to Parliament. I don't think they have any jurisdiction over London. They have their own mayor.
Yeah, it's like that badass deal that the Vatican got.
And guess who elects the mayor?
Yeah,
it's all the corporations.
All the corporations. Yeah, and here's the best part. Like I said, it's like that deal the Vatican got. I don't know who the Monty Hall of the bloodlines are, but that guy's incredible. He can make a deal, right? But anyway, so I think this thing in itself, that the bloodlines are such a key factor to everything outside of it. In fact, I think it may be so close to the middle that it is the ultimate bloodline. And joining us today is a guy that I think does an amazing job when he talks about this. Please welcome to Above the Rabbit Hole for the first time of many, Belushi. What's up, brother?
What's happening, guys?
How are you?
Good to have you, man.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm fantastic. Can I take my poll of my own? Is Bert Kreischer actually funny?
I got to tell you, I know Bert, man. I've interviewed him like 5 or 6 times. Dude, Belushi, look at me. If we're sitting at a table and that dude's at the table, you thank God every 5 minutes he's at the table. He's one of the funniest human beings to be in a room with. One of the greatest storytellers you'll ever meet in your life.
I have to say,
all I have to say.
The machine story is pretty epic.
It's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, and as somebody who's traveled abroad quite a bit, you get into some. If you go looking for trouble, you'll find it.
Yeah, I've heard a million great road stories in foreign countries. Bert's still ranks #1 road comic story of all time.
Yeah.
He's what was that movie? Vanderbilt? Van Wilder. They based that movie off of him. He was like a 6-year senior, and he's just a party animal. And Time Magazine. Was it Time Magazine or
Sports Illustrated?
Was it Sports Illustrated?
Yeah, it was the best party campus of whatever. Well, I'm pretty sure it was Sports Illustrated. Or you're right. It's something weird like that.
I thought it was a rock and roll magazine. What's it called?
Maybe Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone. They did
one of the best party campuses or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like a Rolling Stone article.
Yeah, I think you're right. Anyway, all right. Now, dude, you heard what Matt and I were discussing in regards to, our brief knowledge of it. How close are we in our very wide, broad view of it?
Yeah, it definitely started with the nobility class and bloodlines throughout history, including every single president that we've ever had, are the rulers and controllers of the world. If you look at World War I and World War II, basically these are family spats across Europe. Some of the things that were happening with Germany, oddly enough, after World War I, cozying up to Russia, of all places, because Germany had the tech and the manufacturing prowess, and Russia had the resources and had the grain. So they've been not wanting us to play with Russia for a very long time. Isn't that interesting? But we're going to go back way further than that.
All right,
we're going to take it.
Makes the most sense. All right,
we're going to take a little journey through what most people never see. So this deck is 17 slides, wink, wink. And it really, I'm going to take you through the invisible architecture that's quietly shaped the global economy for 330 years, arguably longer. So this is all sourced factual deck. We don't get into a whole lot of speculation. These are just like the facts, the things that were the banks that were chartered, the things that were incorporated, the meetings that were had, the events geopolitically and domestically here in the United States that took place. And slowly but surely, after World War II, Bretton Woods and saving the UK from their being bankrupt. Essentially, they just since the inception of the Federal Reserve, they just got their hooks on us every decade. They seem to get deeper and deeper. And so we'll take a little dive here and we'll take you through some history, and hopefully it'll give people a working knowledge, or at least an understanding of how the hell did we get here, Mickey?
I have no idea. And if we find it out, I'm going to whoop somebody's ass.
Right now, London is probably like the second biggest financial, like next to New York. Probably next to New York is the biggest financial district in the world. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I would say that. Singapore and Switzerland have quite a bit of wealth for tiny little countries that turned small little areas into these economic massive earners. But they don't earn because they produce anything. They earn because they get a little piece. They get a little taste of the protection racket, if you will. You got to come through us. You want your gold refined, you got to go through Switzerland. Right. You want to set the prices for the London for metals and for diamonds, you got to go through City of London. So they've had their hands. Yeah.
Like I even to this moment, and then I'm going to stop because I could do this for 10 hours, every one of these topics. But the thing that's unbelievable to me is once you hear it, like when he just says that, oh, you want your gold and diamonds, you got to come through London, right? Yeah. And then you go like this, fuck, that's true.
Yeah.
And then you go, why? And then you end up here losing your mind and going, I hope I make $108 this week.
Right.
Yeah. Let's continue.
All right. So where did it start? It started in 1694. That's when the Bank of England. So you said the Bank of London. People getting confused. The city of London is the sovereign square mile. When they have their own mayor and everything that you were describing is accurate. The Bank of London was the original central bank. So the Bank of London started in 1694, and it wasn't born necessarily out of like a grand economic strategy. You touched on it, Mickey. What do you think it was born out of?
I mean,
war.
I mean, that's what everything is built out of.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to make money because you need everything during war.
Yeah. So King William III and Queen Mary needed money to fight France. This is after the Inglorious Revolution. So what they did was they granted a royal charter to a group of City of London merchants. In exchange for said relationship, they raised, what do I have on here? 1.2 million euros. And they did this with private shareholders, and that got the bank up and running in order to lend to the government. So now you're in a perpetual model. We've introduced a central banking model. This is the template for all central banks, which is you leverage your population's production, right? Your GDP and your tax base. So what can we use as collateral in order to borrow this money? Well, we can use our citizenry. And so the Bank of London says, okay, yeah, you tax how much? How many people do you have? Okay, what do you make? All right. Yeah, we'll give you 1.2 million euros. No problem. Never meant to be paid back. The whole system is designed so that it can never be paid back. It's debt on top of debt on top of debt. And where are we today? 40 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
So
now, right there, though, this is a very important part of the start of this, I think. And I think some people miss how important this part is. You need to remember who those two countries are at the time as well. When you have England and France, like where that entire migration that settled out of Rome, out of all that, who were actually there? Like France, you had the Franks. I mean, and it's just really interesting. Belushi's done an amazing starting point here, because if you literally go from that point backwards further, it really starts to get wild how you can literally trace it through migration. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And so accurate.
I do a lot of work with Duppy. I don't know if you had a chance to meet Duppy. He does a lot of this bloodline work. I mean, he's traced some of these families back to the Phoenicians.
Yeah.
And he's working right now on some of the origins of Islam. So shout out to Duppy. But how this is all intertwined, and they use religion, and they set up proxy states like Israel. We'll get into all that.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. So where was I? Yeah. So for the next 252 years, until it was nationalized in 1946, the Bank of England remained privately owned by city shareholders. So just like our Federal Reserve here in the United States, it's a private corporation. That's how they're able to get away with a lot of this tomfoolery. So that has been up until today the longest running private central bank in history. So that's the template.
Wow.
And this is so sort of
simple to see too.
That whole city is a corporation, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think a lot of cities are, but that city itself is its own corporation, right?
Yes.
Now they also have, this is interesting, because the loans were given against the citizenry, that gives the corporations ownership of the citizens. Technically.
In a sense, I mean, this is the original usury from Jesus flipping tables repackaged and imagined,
right?
Sort of in the quasi-modern era, if you compare it to biblical times.
Yeah, and I think even if you bring it to today, what's really interesting to me is that when you look at how the money stays in these cities, and then you've heard all this talk about since 1863 or even beforehand, the United States of America has been acting as a corporation that basically since 1913 was set up. It's a very interesting thing to learn in 1694 what happened in 1913. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so and you're dead on. We'll get into the Federal Reserve and how it started.
Thank you.
So Lloyd's of London and the insurance of risk. So while the bank handled money, Mickey, another institution handled risk. In 1688, Edward Lloyd's Coffee House on Tower Street became the place where ship captains, merchants, and underwriters gathered to insure voyages against pirates and storms. Now, keep in mind, and we were talking a little bit pre-show about the Dutch trading company and the East India Trading Company that predates the creation of the Bank of England. And essentially it's always been piracy. And you can see everything. I've been doing a lot of shows on, I mean, I was talking about, this is all about seaborne trade and shipping lanes like a year and a half ago. And it's if you look at what's going on, with all of it, Venezuela, parts of South America, Colombia, Cuba, the Middle East, all the various choke points, the Strait of Malacca and the Asian Pacific. I mean, all that stuff, all these choke points, all these nodes are the stranglehold that the Lloyd's of London risk assessors have had on global shipping for almost 400 years. And they've always been a sea-bearing piracy type group. The British Empire famously conquered the world because of their navy. Well, they don't have a navy. They are just a member of NATO, and we have the navy. So we'll get into some of the future-facing stuff a little bit down the road here. You're absolutely correct.
Don't they insure pretty much anybody that's out on the waters these days as well?
They did until Trump made that masterful move where he said basically Trump said, oh yeah, we'll escort any ship that's having any problems. And that's the fight you're really seeing.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're losing their grasp on being the premier underwriters. And keep in mind that like Lloyd's of London is like a network of insurers.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's a marketplace.
Yep.
And it also it's in the city of London and it's across the street from MI6. Go figure. So the intelligence, without deviating too far down this rabbit hole, the intelligence reports when Trump cut off the intelligence sharing with MI6 and Five Eyes, that happened fairly recently, end of 25, I think. One of the main functions of some of the reporting they were getting was keeping eyes on all of the seabearing trade that was going on. So anytime you hear about like Somali pirates or, some sort of conflict going on, in and around South America or the Caribbean and, what's going on? Why are people attacking these ships? It's like anytime that happens, guess what goes up?
Everything.
The risk premium on the insurance for shipping.
Yeah.
No, so they have a dial they can turn
I mean, it goes back forever, and in any circumstance, it's the same system. You know, I mean, airlines, right? I mean, it's every single system they own every part at the top level. These central banks and these people, any system that humans are using day to day to get through life's functions, they control. Just think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing. So if you need one thing to help you fight this thing, they control both of them. So whoever they want to win that day or need to win that day wins. It's crazy because they just keep selling to both of you anyway.
So I don't have this in this slide, but the year rings like a bell. 1871, the Organic Act here in the United States, and over across the pond is the year they incorporated the by Act of Parliament, Lloyd's of London.
Right.
So today in 2024, so the last numbers I saw in 24 wrapped up, Lloyd's wrote almost close to 600 billion in premiums USD, so about 520 billion in euros, which is about 40 to 50% coming from North America. So we're fitting like half that bill. I mean, without us, none of this works. What they've been doing, it doesn't work. If you understand the various sovereigns involved, like the Netherlands and Switzerland, the Bank of London, the Vatican, what's going on with this big hula and the fighting with the Pope? Well, seems to me like we're exposing the deep church because they're the ones who are the arbiters of morality and society and, you know, how we should be treating each other. And, oh, you should let them come in and rape your kids. You should let these crazy rapists, murderers into your country. Don't be mean. Don't be mean, Mickey. I've heard you've been being mean to the immigrants. Have you been being mean to the immigrants?
Listen to me. I'm going to say this right now, damn it. Anybody that comes to this country and they sign the guest book, I am their friend immediately. But if you sneak in, just understand, I don't know you and nobody does. So it's just, I mean, if you pass the part where the country says, yes, you're allowed in, I accept that. You're my countryman, my fellow countryman at that point. Prior to that, you're allowed to be here. You know, if you're on a passport or a visa, it's not about foreigners or immigrants. It's about not knowing who it is. And if that makes me racist,
we need to vet
so
people,
be it.
and they need to do it the right way.
Yeah, and if that makes me racist, okay, look me in the eyes. I'm racist for that. I don't know what to say.
I'm 100% in agreement with you. And like I said before, I've traveled abroad quite a bit. I've been all over. I almost got kicked out of Nepal because my visitor visa expired by a day. So every other country plays by the rules that they set, except for us for some reason. And I'll tell you this too. My dad was born in Brazil. I'm a first-generation American.
Wow.
He came here a long time ago, very legally. So there's ways to do it. There's ways to attain the American dream. First thing you got to do is set your alarm and go to bed, because in order to realize this freaking dream, you got to be asleep. But it's out there for you to grab if you want to have it.
And you know what's amazing to me now that I'm sitting here thinking about how ironic this is? One of my favorite immigrants to this country that I've ever met is a man named Hassan, and he's from Iran, and he taught me a lot about the Persian culture and what it was like before he was there under the Shah, you know. And he said, look, man, like America, you had problems, but it was beautiful. The people were friendly. They loved to meet Western culture. They still respected Islam as their religion, as their main religion, but there was a big Christian population. Like, he taught me a lot of this stuff. And I want to be honest with you. I am so grateful to have met a man like that, because in the 1980s, bro, Iran was public enemy number one. And so anytime you heard Iranian person, you were like, oh, I hate them. Russia, same way. Oh, I hate them. And it's so sick when you look back on it. Why?
By the way, you teed up a segment so perfectly. I need to hire you for afternoon fluffings before my show, because you just teed me up so well, Mickey.
Go ahead, brother.
So let's get a little bit darker, shall we?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Iran and the destruction of Persia.
Wait a minute. I have to say this, Matt. Did I know?
Did you know?
What was next?
Maybe.
Oh, you
might have cheated, man.
Did you read ahead? I don't think you did.
Wait a minute.
I think he's that good, man. I think he's
I want to explain something to the audience. Belushi is controlling the slides. They're from him. Where are you right now?
Mick is psychic, folks.
No, I just think it's
to
funny.
tell you.
I just think it's hilarious.
Yes.
I'm on an undisclosed island in Minnesota. That's
perfect.
Right.
All right, let's move on now.
All right, so let's get dark, shall we?
Yeah.
So we're talking about risk, right? How is
man.
risk created and then insured? Take Iran. Iran is an interesting story, and the British involvement in Iran is very interesting. So in 1908, Britain discovered oil in Iran. Oh, go figure. Just what's that old what's that old I think it's like a 70s sitcom. Where they strike oil, the
Beverly Hillbillies.
Yes, Beverly Hillbillies. Thank you.
Yeah.
So they Beverly Hillbillied in Iran, and they discovered oil there. They formed the Anglo-Persian Oil Company, which later became British Petroleum.
Right.
Which is on every frickin' corner in the United States.
BP, as we call it around here.
BP is accurate. So when Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mosaddegh tried to nationalize the oil in 1951, Britain and the CIA orchestrated a coup, and they installed the Shah as a reliable Western partner, and he was there for 26 years. Then in 1979, they had the Iranian Revolution. And suddenly, a stable Persia became a permanent enemy sitting on the Strait of Hormuz, the choke point through which 20 to 30% of the world's oil and LNG flows, which people are getting hip to now because Trump's shined a giant spotlight on Iran. So every time the tension spikes in the region, the maritime insurance premiums soar. They go way up. And the money flows straight to Lloyd's out of the city of London. So if you have a stable country there generating zero profit for the system, nothing works for them. So a destabilized region generates endless revenue.
Yeah. Wonder why there's been so much drama, huh?
That's the scam, bro.
Yeah.
And you can see how they get in the, this presentation can go, like you described, the spider web. This goes in a million directions. We can get into the whole history of MI6, where it really came from, back from the Roman Praetorian times. Who were the Praetorians? It's like this shadow network that exists of all these various secret societies and clubs, how they all are a little bit different in their structure and organization, but they all are working to one aim. But they infight too for who's going to control the aim. Like
I heard a great I heard it kind of explained in a neat way by a gangster, like an old mafia guy, and he said the dirty secret is that they use all the mafias. I don't know why I'm trying to talk like him, just because it's fun. He goes, they used all the mafia guys, the CIA. Then this is what they did, right? They go in, they get gangs. They find cultures that are good at something. Like, for instance, this guy talking. He goes, for instance, they found that the Jamaicans and that a lot of the Hispanic, El Salvador, Honduras, they could be vicious people. They'd hack you up with machetes and not think anything of it. Just part of their culture, right? And he broke it all down, how they could just use different groups for different things at different times.
Yeah.
And the CIA was just able to keep it all separate and fighting at the same time so that it all could work.
That's right out of their playbook, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
you nailed it. What do you think this mass immigration business is all about?
Building an army. That's
what do you think the green news scam is all about?
Well, to me, their scam on the green thing, the ultimate scam, was to sort of, I'm confused there. I'll be honest, because I do understand the idea of clean energy. I mean, that's got to be better for people. But I think the problem was for them, they thought they were just trying to take power away from oil, to get rid of oil nations, which is where all the power really comes from.
That's exactly right. So you came full around to it. So what's Trump doing right now? He's taking control of all the oil.
Right.
And I do agree. I think there's cleaner ways to do things, and I think we are moving into that era.
I do
But
too.
we have to clean up. We have to clean up the mechanisms that currently run the world, which is oil. You can't scale solar energy, and you've destroyed landscapes all over the planet, including the UK. They're the worst offenders. And guess what? I just saw this morning. Russia's going to double down on sanctions potentially to Europe for LNG exports. So Europe
is our
Europe is not going to have any air conditioning this summer. That's number one. Number two, I mean, they're telling their people, energy lockdown, shutter in place, take your roof racks off your trucks, don't drive anywhere.
Oh my! Hey, we got a breaking story here, Matt.
Okay.
Apparently, Rambo is in the chat room begging for a link, and I just saw that. And
we can send him a link.
Yeah, Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo. What's up, dude?
The email right now.
I heard Rambo got all his teeth pulled out. Is that true?
Dude, I didn't say anything on there. I have no idea. I just know he had surgery yesterday.
I know. I don't know what happened either. I just talking.
Did you literally make up what it could be?
I thought he was getting like something with his tooth or something, but
I have no idea. He got braces.
I think he's changing his identity.
Yeah, now he doesn't want it. He will. I just saw it, buddy. Man,
Rambo.
It's a tough crowd around here. He
makes us pull over the show that he's not even going to come on.
But listen. I know my place. If he wants to come on, he comes on. That's the way it goes around here.
Joe, we love you, Joe.
He's coming.
I hope you're recovering, Joe. All right, so
let's.
Right.
Well, he'll jump right in.
So they destroyed Persia. Yeah. Turned it into Iran, basically, because the Persians were a very proud, industrious people, and up until 1979, they were doing really well under the former system they had in the 1950s.
Yes,
for a while. So, all right, let's jump to Israel, and then we'll go back to Jekyll Island.
No, just one thing, Belushi, about that last little thing there about Iran.
Hold on.
You don't even have to go back to it. It just was, I wanted to point out that there really is a lot to be said for people that came to America that fled Iran towards the end when they sensed this revolution coming, that came here.
Yeah, a lot of them at the end of the 70s, early 80s came.
Yeah, and there's a huge population in Los Angeles.
Huge.
Yeah, and they will be the first to tell you that it's not even the same country that they left.
Let me tell you something about the Iranians I know in LA, because I lived in LA for 10 years.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah.
They're freaking loaded. They're all doctors and run businesses and lawyers. And I mean, they're like, they're like a couple other groups we know, but they're very smart. They're very smart, and they're very good with money, and they like making money, and they like spending money too. They're very flashy. But they're great people. I love the Persians.
They are good people. I mean, that's the thing. They're good people.
Very family oriented, very much in touch with their beliefs, and great food. Really, really fun people to just be around, and especially when they're in their element with their people.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about any Persians I know in the United States.
It's
Israel, on the other hand.
Stop. See what you did there? Go ahead. I kid, guys. Can I say something?
I'm trying to keep it light. Go ahead.
Israel flashpoint, like leaving the bank in London and going to Israel real quick. It's like that. The bloodline that landed in London handles all of the insurance and money, and the bloodline in Israel handles all of the intelligence and defense for the
region. Yeah.
Well, I mean, for the evil part of it all.
Yeah,
the whole bloodline line thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Bibi Netanyahu has to keep this conflict going, otherwise he's going to be brought up on war crimes. I mean, Bibi is not popular amongst the majority of the people, and the Jews in America are not fans of Bibi. And obviously we see what's playing out with the influencers, this, that, and the other, and a lot of light is getting shown there for people to look for themselves. But if you think Bibi's controlling Trump, I got a bridge in Baltimore to sell you. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, my big prediction with that is he keeps he's created the Abraham Accords and he's created the Board of Peace. He's had all these players sign on to do sovereign transactional deals on a level playing field with the United States. And when you take away all Bibi's enemies and he's got no one left to shoot rockets at, what the hell is he going to do?
Yeah.
That's the Israel for last part to me. You can't solve that part, and you can't solve, and I think Ukraine, Russia is a fast follow, but you can't solve any of that until you get control of what's driving all the money flows. And that's the choke point. So again, it's like we made all this hoopla about nuclear, this, that, and the other, nuclear dust, and Operation Midnight Hammer, all these things, right? And it turns out that the real nuke that Iran possesses that they will use is shutting down the strait. And I said that 3 weeks before the war even broke out. I said, I don't understand. I'm like, everybody's looking at this like, they're going to nuke Israel. I'm like, if they could have done that, they would have done it 10 years ago. The real power they have is shutting down the trade.
100%. Let's bring Rambo in right now. Rambo's here with us. You there, dude?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's wrong?
What's up, Eeyore?
Yeah, Jesus.
What is that?
That's a guy with no teeth.
Oh,
Oh my God, dude. Did you get him? What happened, bro?
Yeah, right now I have no teeth in my mouth.
oh no.
Are you serious, dude? You're getting full, like the whole deal done?
I'm not kidding at all. Yeah.
Really?
You know how lucky you are you're not in
Damn.
prison anymore?
I want new teeth, though. You got a pretty mouth.
You sure do. How you feeling, bro?
I'm loopy.
He's got no
good.
teeth.
At least they give
Probably
you
on
some good drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, every time I walk past a mirror, I look like that guy.
I can't believe, bro. Do you know what you're doing right now? Like, are you gonna be mad at me tomorrow?
No, I don't. No,
Okay.
I don't lie about anything.
I know you don't lie about anything, but I just okay.
There's a very popular genre of videos that floats around the internet where people they come off of their surgeries after this. It's going to end up in some kind of compilation somewhere.
Dude, come on, let us see it.
He sounds like Marlon Brando with the cotton swabs in his cheeks.
Come on, bro. Come on there.
Hold on.
I'm going to see your mouth,
He's
boy.
gonna do it. He's gonna do
Let me
it.
see your mouth.
I'm not going to. Hold on. I'll show you something.
Give you $50 to show your mouth, boy. I got a $50 rant right here.
I don't know what these guys are talking about. You've never sounded better, honestly.
Oh, bro. Go ahead.
I'm going to try to do a show today.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's going to be the best.
It's
Yeah.
not. I can't even say it. It's not gonna be at 2. It's gonna be at 8 after they put my teeth back in.
Dude, you're going to get more rants if you do it earlier. I'm telling you right now.
You should just go on your channel right now and charge everybody $1 a minute. Just
Sound
read
like
the phone book.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's 80.
Somebody said Wambo and friends.
Wambo and friends.
Whammo. Oh, brother, how you doing? Are you
Put
all right,
my-
man?
Yeah, put my screen up.
Oh, he's doing it. Go bring his screen. That's a picture.
I got to take this screen out.
Okay,
right?
go ahead. Yeah, bring that picture up right there, Matt.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we go.
Oh, dude, look at you.
Bro.
Is that the before or the after picture?
That was when they were releasing me yesterday.
Oh, that's when you were. Yes.
I can't. Oh, my.
Now, do you have to wear that thing everywhere?
No, I'm not wearing nothing right now.
Okay.
Yesterday they
Yesterday they said this. I said sometime this week.
My Fabies was on fiber.
My
Oh my God.
suffering.
yeah. So go ahead, buddy.
Yesterday they took all of them out and then they put a whole bunch of metal in my mouth. And Today they're putting their teeth in.
And now,
Wait, you go back today to get the teeth installed?
Yeah, that's why I'm so rudely interrupting you, because I gotta leave.
And you are planning to do a show later.
That's what I wanted to tell everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna we had a show lined up. I did all the work.
With brand new choppers, folks. With brand new choppers.
I literally have tears in my eyes laughing at this. Oh my God, this is incredible.
We're not gonna do it until
This is dedication, folks.
Dude,
we're not gonna do it until 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. East. Yeah.
All right. Now listen. Get some rest. Take care of yourself. we love you, brother. No, we do, man. You good? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Text me later if you're gonna go on, man. I'll share it. Whatever you want me to do.
It's a decision that we're gonna make after I get my thing done today.
We should just pay. We would pay you 3 tongue twisters.
Jesus. Oh my God. Do me a favor, Joe. Just say, see you soon, guys.
I'll see you soon, guys.
I love you, bro. We'll talk to you later.
Love you, Joe.
See you.
See you, bro. Oh my God.
Oh,
This is what our show was created for.
Yes.
These moments, man.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, thank God it was Belushi as a guest, too. A straight guest may not have handled that.
yeah. Can you imagine? They pull the presentation over.
Yeah,
We would have scared them away
some
for
dudes
sure.
on here like, well, if you follow the ginger route till it's natural process, what you'll learn is that if you I'm sorry, there's now a toothless man on the phone.
I thought he was joking. I was joking when I said he got all his teeth pulled out. Apparently, I wasn't wrong.
No,
You were right on the money.
Oh, dude, listen. Some dudes get some teeth pulled. Joe got all that shit pulled, like, bam,
Whew.
just that guy. Like, there. Hey, man, I just want to, let's get back to the damn
Yeah,
bloodline.
but here's the thing. He's going to have the best smile at the end of this. At all.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, it's as best his teeth are ever going to look is today.
I'm so happy
At 8
for this
p.m.
guy,
East.
dude. Knowing his history and his story and to see where he's gotten by doing what he's done.
Amen.
I don't care.
That's a beautiful thing.
I would take that success story sometimes over a traditional one. That's just, and most of the time, because it's harder to do it the way Joe did it.
So we had
well done, brother.
We had almost had you shirtless and Joe toothless today. So let's see where else this show takes us.
I'll tell you what.
Belushi.
Hey, Matt, I tell you what, I'm about to take my pants off, and it'll be a real party.
I figured something like that was coming. Yes.
All right, back to this. Okay, so Flashpoint, Israel, creating problems. Go.
So, similar to Persia, the same pattern appears in the Middle East with Israel. So, in 1917, the Balfour Declaration promised a Jewish homeland, while Britain was secretly promising the same land to the Arabs and the French. Did you all know that?
Say that again, Belushi.
So, when they implemented the Balfour Declaration in 1917, they promised the Jewish, because they were lobbying, all the Jews were lobbying in England, and there's many ties throughout all these wars. We can talk about Hitler and who was around him, this, that, and the rest, and what the Jews were really up to, aka the city of London.
Right.
But they promised, that's what the declaration was. They promised a Jewish homeland, while the Brits were secretly promising the same land, which the Arabs were already inhabiting, to the Arabs and to the French.
Yeah, weren't they creating currency for them and everything?
Yeah, I mean, initially they were stirring up. There was like 5 ruling tribes, like nomadic tribes, and they were like pinning them against each other, and they really couldn't control them. So what do? You promise the land to both sides, and then you have remember when it's like, you're never going to solve this. Everyone's always thinks about this conflict. Like it's thousands of years old. They just hate each other. No, they were both promised the same thing and they didn't get it.
Yeah.
So the deal was from Jump Street. The deal was bad. Right.
Yeah,
so.
And you know, the saddest part of this is when you really go back historically, both sides of this, whether you want to believe it or not, I mean, they have legitimate claims to ancestry and settlement.
Well, it was traditionally Jewish land. If you go all the way back, it's Jewish land. But what Belushi said is, it was promised to them by the current ruling empire of the time.
Correct.
To say this is going to be your land.
Yeah. It wasn't importing Khazarian Jews from Europe. It was the original Hebrews that were the Palestinians, the whole region.
That's the weird part. Like, a lot of them are actually, they have like similar bloodline. Am I right about that? Or is that?
Yeah, no, they have the most strongest tie to the original Hebrews.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's literally bizarre. And that's where everything we're learning, it comes in. And by the way, you're welcome, Wambo. Have a good day. Thank you to everybody.
Guys, check out Wambo and Friends.
Wambo and Friends. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I think the thing with Israel that I think is so confusing to me is you listen, man. I was raised a Catholic. I got taught the Old Testament. I got taught Hebrew history. I had an affinity for Hebrews, and going back, 6,000 years. The laws that we still live by are affected by those words. To me, that meant something. And as I got older, I started to realize, okay, some of this is weird. Some of this is bizarre. But when you see how it's been used now in itself, I feel badly for the Jewish people.
Right. So after the Holocaust, the Jews needed safety and they needed to put them somewhere.
Right.
So you have a group of desperate people who were placed on a tiny strip of land surrounded by hostile neighbors, no historical grounding or rooting in the region, and no strategic depth. They put him there and they're like, okay, good luck. There's no industrial setup, nothing,
And what's even more strange to me, I have this question. Why did they need to go to this land?
I have the answer. The result, 75 years of engineered instability.
But wait, I have a bigger question. Once the Nazis were defeated, those were the only people killing Jews. The Nazis were destroyed. Why couldn't they just go home to Russia, to Poland? I'd never understood that. Like, once we came, America showed up, we beat the Nazis. Go home. It never crossed my mind an answer to that question. And I'm not saying that in an anti-Semitic way. I'm saying it in a historical, contextual way. Why did they need new land? Once the Nazis were rid, you can go home. The people in France went home. The people in England went home. The people in Africa and North Africa went home. People in Italy went home. Why were the Jews all stuck there?
They've always been nomadic, and the Khazarian sect has been kicked out of almost every country on this planet at some point throughout history. So they've always been nomadic, and I don't know that you go back to Poland or any of these other places where they were getting ripped out of attics, according to mainstream. So I think there's a level of manufactured I don't know, like a nuke and pave. Like, we can't go back there. There's nothing left for us to go back to.
Well, to me, ultimately, it was just a way to militarize a religion, right? I mean, isn't that what it was? It's a militarizing way for a religion.
Yes. Your chat it was all wise.
It was all wise. That's hilarious. These people are incredible. I love them that we can do something this serious and they're still singing.
And we're still finding a way to insert comedy. Imagine that. So to your point, Mickey, why? Yeah, I mean, engineered instability. Every flare-up sends Eastern Mediterranean and Red Sea insurance rates skyrocketing. So the political risk premiums boom across the region when you have this endless conflict.
Why do we keep doing
I call it the risk premium. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do we keep doing it?
Why do we keep doing what?
What they
Money.
want.
Oh,
why do we keep doing
why do
what
we
they
just
want?
keep doing it?
well, we elected Trump and we're
Getting out of it?
yeah, we've turned the ship around and the ship is starting to pick up steam and it's going to get weirder.
Well, you know what I think's going to happen? If this all goes as fast as I think it's going to go, I think there are going to be moments in a very short near future where like there'll be a little skirmish somewhere in the world and Trump's just going to come on and literally say things like, listen, you're getting on my nerves. Like one more day of this. And no. Like I think America and the rest of the settled world, I think we're going to be happy for a while.
What breaks the profit model, Mickey?
Loss.
Matt?
Well, it's the
it's super simple. You guys are overthinking
part in the conflict, I guess.
Peace.
Right?
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
What's Trump's main message to the world right now?
Peace through strength.
Yes.
Yep. And I think we've proven we're pretty much stronger by 5 times, 10 times maybe than any other nation on planet Earth. No one has said a word to us militarily. Not a threat, nothing.
Well, they can't, but yeah.
Do you know what they would have in the past?
Yeah.
And we would have pretended it mattered. So where does it go next, dude?
Well, we're going to jump back one step in history and then we'll jump forward. But just keep in mind that the permanent conflict is the feature. It's not the bug. It's again, this inversion of all things across anything that's in the matrix. It's inverted, right? You would think that peace would be, everyone would be productive, right?
Right.
That everyone would be, no, but only a few rollers and controllers make the money when conflict is the feature.
Right.
The risk premium.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go back one.
There's no money in peace.
How the hell did they get into the United States? They took this template of the Bank of England, the central bank of central banks. They began lending to governments. They started setting up their permanent flashpoints and choke points and assembled their insurance maritime premiums all over the planet. And they're like, how do we get it? How do we get our little system into that pesky little country, America? Well, you guys heard of the famous Jackal Island meeting of 1910?
Yep.
Of course.
It was the beginning of the central bank here, right?
Yeah. So 1913 was when the central bank was created out of the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. But a small group in 1910 of powerful men, industrialists, bloodline families, including representatives from J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, and European banking houses like Kuhn and Loeb, had a secret island in Jackal Island. They all took the train there together. One of them even had a shotgun on the train ride because they were pretending like they were going on a hunting trip. Yeah, hunting down your children's souls.
Wow. Right.
And they devised the blueprint based on the Bank of England to set up a central bank in the United States called the Federal Reserve. So under assumed names, they drafted the blueprint and brought it into power in 1913 through the Federal Reserve Act. And then Paul Warburg is a notable name here that I think people should look into. Very, very wealthy family. He was one of the original architects who had studied it from the time it was a Dutch economic scheme before it even went to London. So they had all the players. They had the capital, they had the brain trust, and they had the leverage or whatever, because it's all based on blackmail. Who knows what it was back then on the people in Congress to get this thing through.
But they were, excuse me, they were in cahoots with London as well, though, correct? London sort of.
This is the London blueprint. This is the Bank of England blueprint. Yeah.
What I mean is, though, but they at that point would actually start doing business together.
Yeah, these were all European banking families.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
this is
JP Morgan and Rockefeller were the ones in America. So they were the ones,
right. Yeah.
So it's a group, right? But yes, it's essentially, yes, you're correct, Mickey.
It's unreal.
All right. So that's the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve. So what is the Federal Reserve? It's a structure that reflects the private template that we discussed. It's 12 regional banks that are privately chartered corporations owned by member banks that get this, that earn a 6% fixed dividend by law.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. The ninth, this is the endless usury.
Yeah.
This is what Jesus flipped tables over.
Yeah.
The Ninth Circuit Court even ruled in 1982, that they were non-federal instrumentalities, meaning they're non-federal finance instruments. They are corporate instruments. So they're independent, privately owned, and locally controlled by corporations. So this is how they set up. This is how they stack the various institutions, banks, and corporations around being able to move and flow capital globally. Where they get a cut of everything and they make their own rules. They assign their own people. They assign their own boards. Nobody votes for these people.
Yeah.
And guess who the United States government gets their money from?
Yeah.
The Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Again, they created a system where they lend to governments. And again, it all started out of needing money to finish a war. What drives the lending? War, World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, Afghanistan, Desert Storm, blah, 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 Iraq. Endless. Okay.
And you want to hear the
they finance it all, right? I mean, they finance essentially both sides of these conflicts as well.
Yes. Yep.
And the craziest part to me, and this is where I go, okay, people, wake up. If you remember earlier in the show, he talked about how in the very beginning the Dutch would do this. And what happened was they realized, okay, wow, you have a citizenry that has value. We set up a corporation. Your clout or your collateral are your citizens, right?
Yep.
How ironic that gets set up in 1910. IRS, federal income tax starts 1913.
Yeah, 1913 was not a good year.
That was the insurance policy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That was the insurance policy for the land.
Yeah. What is your citizenry worth? Well,
Right.
if you tax them X percent,
Correct.
we know we can get this
out of you
interest payment, because again, it's not designed to be paid back.
Right.
That's why we're 40x plus in trillion in debt.
Right.
Yeah.
It's never been paid back. It's never was designed to be paid back.
The hilarious part of it, and this is the sickest part of all of it, if the country just said, you know what? No. Nope. Not paying it. Like literally, if we demanded it, it would happen, number one. And I guarantee you it would take less than a week. It would take less than a week for the entire thing to crumble and instate another way to do it.
Well, Trump is talking about getting rid of the Federal Reserve and getting rid of the IRS. I mean, what do you guys think? Is that a realistic? You think he's realistic?
Well, Kevin Warsh is being grilled by Pocahontas and the rest by the Banking Committee in the Senate as we speak right now.
Yeah.
You got to get the Clarity Act and the Market Structure Bill through the Senate. It's a big part of moving onto this new system.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. It'll be interesting to see optically how they play the public with this. Are we going to move Powell out? Trump was on Squawk Box this morning on CNBC, and he was talking about Iran, of course, and a number of other things. But the Warsh confirmation hearing came up, and they're like, what are you going to do with Powell? In order for Powell to leave, you got to end the probe. He doesn't want to end the probe because Powell embezzled $4 billion to remodel a basement. And Trump's very upset about it. And it's clear that, we won't go even into the whole, what we may think who the players and actors are.
Right.
But in order to swap in Warsh, you have to get rid of Powell. And, if right now, because gas prices are high, and I'll tell you what, man, you get the gas prices down, everything else comes down. That's how the whole thing works. And I went to the grocery store yesterday. I wanted to cry in the parking lot by myself a little bit in my car afterwards, because it's like every other day. It's like things at the deli are going up a full $1. I'm like, what is happening? So, they were like on Squawk Box, well, would you be opposed to raising rates? Yeah, if the inflation's going to run out of control, but it's not. This is almost done with this.
Well,
going. He's trying to get to the China meeting. That's what he's doing.
Yes, agreed completely.
We're not going to get too much into China in this presentation, but if you want to do a follow up on geopolitics, we can talk about current events. Like that's really the aim is to get a weakened China in a position to agree what's going to happen moving forward. And I really do believe in the arc and the arc that Trump has been building, and that's America, Russia, and China. Not that China is going to be some trusted friend, an ally, but they will be a trading partner, and they'll be absolutely critical to have China in check for what goes on in the whole Indo-Pacific Asian region of the hemisphere, of the Eastern Hemisphere. So, and China's getting hurt the most out of this. China and Europe. So it seems to me, you find a way. I think he's demonstrated the way we get out of NATO, but you still got to deal with China.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Because China that's where all the Europeans are running. They're running to China now. The crap that they did to us and offshored all our crap to China, they're now running to China because they have no choice, because they're going to go down with the ship. I mean, Starmer, Carney, and Macron are on like a suicide death pact that they made in their treehouse. They cut each other's palms and did a blood pact when they were in junior high.
I think you're going to see a European revolution.
You're already seeing an uprising.
I mean, you're going to get. This is not. I'll tell you right now, England and Ireland. That's weeks away from an absolute explosion. I don't know how tight you're really following that.
Very tight.
I
covered it on Saturday. All the little uprisings across Europe. Yeah.
I'll tell you the saddest one in the world to me, though, Matt, is Spain. What Spain has become.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I mean, the Spaniards must be crying.
It's bad.
I mean, it wow. And you're right, because but you see the divisiveness play out so easily when you listen to a guy like Belushi explain how it all works. And then when you can literally say, okay, wait, these are bankers. These are men worth millions, hundreds of millions, and billions, some almost to trillions. Do you not see the level of just we literally are cattle. We're just in their way. We're another mouth to feed.
Yeah, it's their business, man. It's manipulation.
And I got to ask one other question. Like most of the real power money countries, London, Germany,
it used to be Germany.
Well, the Rothschild people. Yeah. Why are they all so ugly?
Because they're inbred.
That's what it is, isn't it, man?
It's like a real family, man.
Yeah, if you go do the actual bloodline dive in order to keep things in families,
that's a bad.
They have to marry their cousin to keep the money and the empire and the institutions and all in the same names. It has to be legit from a business standpoint.
Yeah, I get it, but it's bad enough you got to bang your cousin, right?
I mean,
but then you got to bang your cousin that looks like that.
Yeah.
Like, twice.
How do you think the conversation goes? Like, all right, Johnny, we're going to sit down, little Johnny, and have a little talk with him about his future.
Hey, Johnny, you're gonna, Sarah, right?
Hey, Johnny, Jenny? Yeah, my first cousin, Jenny. Yeah. Well, in order to get your inheritance, not only are you going to have to sleep with her and have her bear your children, but you're also going to have to be married to her for the rest of your life.
Look, they're gold diggers.
Yeah.
Gold diggers going to do what gold diggers do.
Dude, that's so sad.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you, have you seen any of the interviews with the maybe second in bloodline that have left those families and gone on like crazy rants about what their families do? Have you seen any of that stuff, Belushi?
Yeah, I mean, I talk about this a lot. So, and what people need to understand, they're like, bloodline's bad. Well, half the Kennedys weren't bad.
Right.
This family squabble and this infighting of these bloodline families has been happening since the dawn of man. All you got to do is crack open your Bible and read the Cain and Abel story.
Yeah, it's page 4.
Yeah.
Page 4 of the Bible. There was some family drama.
That's when it started.
That's when it started, when Cain killed his brother Abel. That's when this whole thing started. Well, it really started with frickin' Eve. If she had every fruit under the sun, she had to have the damn apple.
All
right, I'll get off my soapbox.
It must have been some apple, man. God. Must have been some apple. We'll leave apple stories out of this, though.
Dude, just think about how frustrated Adam must have been that day.
Oh man!
Like he comes back, right? He's carrying something to eat, right? He brought some fruit and whatever, and he lays some stuff down so the grass doesn't cut him. And then she comes over, look what I did. And he's like, oh,
I have infinite knowledge now. Yeah, now we're all doomed to hell for eternity.
We're gonna run the world.
That apple, was vibrating.
Well, and it hasn't stopped since, Matt.
Yeah.
That thing vibrates, don't it?
I think so.
Women, I love you.
All right, so let's continue to move forward here.
I think every man, when he really thinks about it for more than 30 seconds, it takes him another 30 seconds to go, okay, I can't kill it.
I gotta live here. Gotta live here.
I like these people. Let's go.
I'm still a human on Earth. I gotta deal with it. All right. So I mentioned Warburg, and you mentioned so this is like London getting in, right? Yes, it's the model. It's modeled on London. The direct link. London and Washington formed a perfect partnership. London kept the older depot infrastructure, the offshore markets, the insurance, the global clearing, and the financial law. Also, our judicial law too, if we want to get into that. And then Washington brought the dollar as the world's reserve currency and the military prowess that is our U.S. military. So that's what America brought to the table. So together they formed this transatlantic financial system that has strangled the world ever since.
Now, Belushi, have you ever seen, and this is a legit question, have you ever even seen anyone argue these points you're making?
Bits and pieces of them, yes. It's the knowledge is out there, I think, in certain groups, definitely. I don't know if anyone's quite put it together like this.
No, that's not what I mean. Have you heard anyone deny your work? Have you heard anyone
argue what specifically?
Argue that that exactly what Belushi is saying is true, like that those guys literally set up something that was the exact replica of the Bank of London and or the Bank of England, whatever, I forget what it is, and we did it here in America under Rockefeller, blah blah. Has anyone come in and gone, yeah, but it's not the same, or you're wrong about how it affects things? Like, what is the argument against what you're telling us?
That's a good question. These are all factual, documented events.
That's my whole point.
Yeah, you can't really argue with it.
It's hard to debate it,
right?
Yeah, I'd welcome a debate, I suppose.
Right, but who's going to challenge this? Listen, nobody loves to argue more than me. I will find something to argue about right now if I could.
The people who are benefiting from all this, obviously, are the ones who would argue for it, right? But it all comes down to money and power, I guess.
I think you're seeing the argument play out in different ways. What happened on Liberation Day when Trump announced that we're moving to a tariff-based economy? What happened? The whole world freaked out.
Yeah.
So it seems to me they know the history and what I'm saying and how the system is set up and how it works and why it works that way. And Trump said, no more. We're not doing it.
This is how we used to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is how we did it in the beginning of the founding of this country.
Hey, Belushi,
and we had a short few decades of just immense. Well, we had so much money, we didn't know what to do with it. Trump talks about it publicly all the time. Go ahead. Sorry, Mickey.
No, I'm listening as well. One of the things that I think is theoretical is that what Trump is doing is allowing, and we're seeing these kind of messages are getting out more. You're seeing Rothschild videos on TikTok and Instagram
all the Nick
and
Shirley
Facebook.
Stuff too. All the fraud that we're uncovering.
Right. And I think these shows like that we're doing are moving, and they're going. We keep talking about it. It's going to grow, but don't you think we are still being restricted?
Yeah, 100%.
Like
we haven't migrated to the new system.
No. I'm talking about our kind of shows.
Oh.
Like, I think we are purposely sort of being held back so that it doesn't get out before they want it. Right? Because there could be a flashpoint. Like somebody get hit a video and it just, for whatever reason, the right person, the right celebrity, the right whatever, the right reaction to it, something hits. And all of a sudden, 100 million people see that the Bank of London, Bank of England controls all this. and we have our own here, and it's the federal, all of that.
I feel
you know what's interesting about that, Mickey? Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. I was just
going to say,
like the slow drip is happening.
He does it like multiple ways, right? Because he's always talking to multiple audiences. Like I'm taking people through this, and I understand the mechanisms of the financial institutions and instruments and how the scam works.
Right.
We didn't even talk about fractional reserve lending and things of that nature, like all of naked short selling in the markets, the derivatives market, like all the bubbles we create. Like there's so much fraud. The whole thing is based on fraud. Fraud is rewarded, whether people want to admit that or not. Mm-hmm. Clearly, what we're seeing with Nick Shirley it's a thing.
It's also an economy.
So what's the best way to do it? Do you expose NATO as the limp paper tiger they are? Even if we wanted them to be our friends and have our back, they won't. They've clearly demonstrated they won't. Or take you through a bunch of historical data and kind of, I think it's exciting. I hope this audience thinks it's exciting, but boring infrastructure stuff to get people going, wait a minute. I think Trump's version, where he's making Starmer look like an ass, is working quite well.
Yeah, and when you watch these guys still, Obama and Mamdani singing songs in a preschool, like Mamdani begging billionaires to come back to New York.
Well, the governor was, the governor begging billionaires come back and pay taxes.
Yeah,
please.
That rat ass woman. Anyway, you're literally seeing. In my eyes, they are bottoming out. There's all this talk about the midterms, and yes, it could go horribly wrong. But I think that there are results coming from what's happening right now that it'll be the other way in a landslide. I truly, truly believe it.
I hope so. We hope, we hope our elections are going to get cleaned up, and and that's the path we're on.
All right, Belushi, show us the good news.
I don't know if I have any in this deck.
Joking, bro. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, so what sits above all the central banks? Well, the Bank of International Settlements is the central bank of central banks. Remember, I mentioned Switzerland. So above even national central banks sits the Bank of International Settlements. The BIS, which is in Basel, Switzerland, and the Basel Accords, they're trying to launch Basel III now. But essentially, it's like a minimal capital requirement. So banks have to hold a certain amount of capital. I think it's like 8% when this started in the late 80s. And then in 2024, they tweaked it slightly. And then after 08, they tweaked it again in 2011. In 2011, between 2011 and like 2014 is when you started to see the LIBOR, which is how they set rates for lending, and interest on money flows. And we actually quietly during Biden, here's another reason why there was a pause. We switched to what's called a SOFR rate, which our Federal Reserve now controls. So some of the unwinding and major moves happened very quietly in the background over the last couple decades, and specifically with LIBOR and SOFR. I have a slide on this. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I think it's important to understand what are the control mechanisms of the central banks.
So I'm sorry, Belushi. I'm not sure I understand. So why are these guys the central bank of central banks?
Because they're the settlement house. So they settle all international transactions. Like, remember when Biden went over and was like, well, son of a bitch, if you don't give me the money by 4:00, we're going to fire the prosecutor. And he wanted like $1 billion.
Yeah.
That comes out of the Bank of International Settlements, or is lended by us to the Bank of International Settlements to be delineated to said countries borrowing the money or getting a kickback or whatever it is. So like, they're like the international central bank.
Gotcha.
So it was founded in 1930. It coordinates policy among 63 central banks, representing 95% of global GDP.
Wow.
Now, who sits at this board?
It's 95%.
So all the boards of all the 63 member central banks.
So it's a massive governing body.
Yeah, and it's in Switzerland, the stronghold of sovereignty in the banking world.
Yeah.
Right.
They can't be touched. They're a tiny little country that doesn't make anything, and they're one of the richest countries in the world.
Yeah.
It holds 10 to 15% of the world's central bank reserves. and it sets the global capital rules for the whole thing through the Basel Accords.
And do they even have a military, really?
No, it operates with Swiss diplomacy and immunity.
Yeah, so think about
all
that.
all their monthly meetings are secret with G10
Right.
governors. So the G10 governors are really the political conduit and the arm that sits on that board.
So what happens if somebody attacks Switzerland?
Nothing, because they would need us to fight the war for them.
Right,
so
yeah.
if we do it, then
Right.
all bets are off.
It's crazy when you think about it, right?
Well, I mean, doesn't just the financial side of it, doesn't that give them protection as well?
Yeah, essentially, right? Like we could collapse all the world economies at once.
Yeah.
Right. That's why we're building a parallel system as we build bridges and off ramps to onboard traditional finance into the tokenization space. So we're moving into a tokenized finance world where transactions and all monies coming and going will be tokenized. Assets will be tokenized. Shit. Right now, I mean, they're already putting some of the budget, the congressional budget for the United States on blockchain. I'd like to see voting on blockchain. I'd like to see voting on all. And I'm talking about voting for bills in the Senate floor. I'm talking, and also voting for the public as well.
Are you pro or anti everything going digital here?
I'm pro tokenization.
You are.
Yeah.
That's
they're still going to keep in mind, whether it's a digital asset or a paper dollar, you still need a unit. You still need a unit of measure that can be transactional, because the real value is like your house has real value.
Sure.
Your car that you drive has real value, even though the second you drive it off the lot, it starts depreciating. Gold and silver have real value. These are tangible things that do things, right? That are, are actually worth money, because energy went into producing them.
Right.
They come of things. Your house is made of brick and wood. Those things are tangible things that are made that are worth something.
So the tangible things is what
you can't just go down to the river and pick up bricks for your house. Like, you have to buy bricks or make bricks, whatever. So again, Trump forcing onshoring, nearshoring. We're going to control all the energy flows. We're going to produce everything. We're going to we're going to build an Iron Dome because we're going to need one. We're going to keep building ships because we're going to have to protect our assets out in the oceans. Everything we're doing is we're creating this like Western hemispheric ecosystem of sovereignty around our side of the planet. And it's like, yeah, we'll do trade with you. We have the biggest marketplace and we're going to make the best shit and you're going to buy it. Because it's not going to be, us, outsourcing and then retaking everything from China in a loop. So like all those things are going to be the actual anchors and foundational GDP, the thing that moves what our nation's worth in terms of production.
Yeah.
It's no longer this like, we're just going to print money and say it's worth stuff. And then everyone's going to work in this debt system and we're going to tax you 6 ways from Sunday on every dollar you make. Your dollar's taxed like 7 times before you even spend any of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Bizarre.
Yeah.
And so many of the dollars aren't even real in the first place. And then they're taxed.
To your question, Matt, it doesn't matter. So if you put transparency into the system, there's no, and this is what they're doing by some of the big Bitcoin busts you're seeing and seizing like FX and some of these exchanges and all the things. Everyone thinks crypto's this big, dangerous monster of fraud. It's not. It's an emerging asset class, just like the stock market was in the beginning. The tokenization will allow transactions to flow freely. If you take just cross-border payments, right now, 2 banks in 2 different countries have to always be holding reserves in order to satisfy an international transaction. I call up my bank. Hey, I want to send $5,000 to India. Okay, that's going to take 3 to 5 days. Why? Because my bank's got to call the Indian bank and go, yeah, we got a transaction coming. It's $5,000. All right, well, they're going to put that they're going to allocate those funds. They're going to put it in a market and let it sit in this giant pool of money they have for a few days before they actually release the funds in order for the transaction. And then they're going to charge you, I don't know, 3%, whatever. They'll charge you $50 or whatever. And it took 5 days. Yeah. You know how much global capital moves around this planet every day? It's quadrillions of dollars.
Yeah.
So you speed that up to 3 to 5 seconds. Shout out XRP. If you speed that up and you can have an exchange internationally across border in real time,
yeah,
trillions a day you're saving.
Well, let me, and I don't want to sidetrack us too much on the, like, I think this could be an entire show we do with you, Belushi, but are you concerned about stuff like privacy and their ability to, regulate what we purchase, their ability to kind of shut off our money supply whenever they want to? Is that concerning to you, any of those things?
Yeah, I hear the arguments out there. There's a lot of European countries that have already started to go down this the CBDC or central bank a digital currency route, programmable money that can be tied to a social credit score. I've heard all the fear when they can do something like they do in China, where if you spit on the sidewalk, they're going to move you from a green to a blue or a yellow. And you're like, you have to wear a scarlet letter around it. They take some of your, hey, you bought too much gas. You might buy too much sushi this week. You got to cut back on the sushi. Yeah, right. Do you know how many guns are in this country? If they start doing that to Americans, you're going to see a real revolution in this country. Trump signed an executive order that they are not going to do CBDCs. They just passed a measure in the House blocking any attempt to even bring it back up until 2030. So in the interim, we're not going to see that. Now, will this be a battle we have to fight ongoing? Well, it's the U.S. government, so most likely.
Yeah. Do you see a massive conversion of U.S. dollars to coin?
What I see is the backing of the dollar and the Fed note being absorbed by the Treasury, and then the Treasury dollar being backed by a basket of assets, a sovereign wealth fund, real estate, technology, rare earth minerals, crypto, gold and silver, etc.
Okay.
That then can be used in whether it's a stable coin form or there probably will still be paper money.
You think? See, that is
for a period of time, I think. I don't know eventually if we go off paper altogether. I mean, it's kind of a waste to print it all over the place, but people like the tangible nature of hey, my computer doesn't have to track me giving the girl at the farmer's market $20. Right.
Yeah. Or I want to go buy something from you in your garage and you want $4,000 for it. And technically I'm supposed to send something to the IRS.
Give me $38.50. We'll call it a deal.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody seeing that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, do you still need
cash? You have that amount, you have that level of privacy on the digital side too.
Crypto, you could probably get
away. So it just depends on what you're doing.
But you still got to do it digitally so it's tracked.
Yeah, but guess what? I mean, unless you sell drugs, you got that money from your ATM. So your bank knows you took out $5,000 in cash.
Oh, right. I hear you. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's tracked somewhere, Mickey. And by the way, all dollar bills have serial numbers. Everything's tracked.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move on from the central bank of central banks. They give me a headache. All right. So the birth of the euro dollar in the marketplace. Here's the other entanglement with Europe. Yeah. In the 1950s, London invented something revolutionary, the euro dollar market. So dollar deposits and loans held outside the United States, operating beyond U.S. jurisdiction, with the quiet blessing of the Bank of England after Nixon ended the gold standard and the convertibility in 1971. And quick side note on that, I know people get confused on this. Nixon took us off the gold standard. We just got to go back on gold. Well, the reason we did that is because we wanted our currency out in the world. We were setting up and getting ready for this petrodollar revolution, which on its surface seems like we had our U.S. dollars. Too many foreign countries were holding our dollar, primarily the French and other countries. And if they decided at any moment to go, because they're convertible, our dollars were convertible. You can go into a bank and go, I want my gold. Here's $300. I want my gold in $300 worth back. If any country called in their convertibility on the dollar to gold, they called in their delivery of gold, we wouldn't have had enough gold to satisfy it.
Yeah.
So that alone is a problem just in itself for just backing it with gold. Because you want your currency out there. Why? Because we wanted everybody to use it as utility to buy oil. That's when we made the deal with Saudi Arabia right around the same time. This was a plan that had been going on leading up to this and everything they set up prior to us going on the petrodollar. So it was like, oh, we can't satisfy the gold. What? We got to pull back the gold. We're going off the gold. You just got to, if you're going to buy oil in the world, you got to buy it with US dollars.
That's interesting, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of people know that.
That's like, it's mind bending when you see like how out in the open they did it, how who gives a crap, how whatever, we're doing it. We're lending money that's not even real, and we're going to charge you interest for it. We're literally making money off of something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Well, I just invented a new tax right now, Matt, and that's where I charge the government $1,000 an hour for me to be alive. No, I'd take that back because Dave will take me out right away and snuff the deal. Yeah,
be careful with that one.
I'd take it back. Yeah. No, but dude, and you know what I'm starting to understand too? I really think a lot of this stuff's getting out because those guys are gone. It's, you know, there's evil left in it at points along the hole there that we're in, but this stuff is getting talked about too freely.
Yeah, well, information and people being able to communicate is so much more.
Yeah, they have
easy these days.
They lost the race.
Yeah,
that's what happened. Evil lost the race.
This was a pre-internet scam.
You ever hear that? You ever hear pre-internet scam?
Yeah,
this was pre-clothing scam.
Yeah.
But like the crazy, you've heard that expression, right? The truth always rises. Well, we've been racing to the top, and I think the truth got there first. And I mean, keep going, Belushi. This is like,
it gets deeper.
I can't believe kids don't learn this in school.
Not at all. And I'll say this about evil, like, you know, the evil's almost gone. There's always going to be evil.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Let me ask you guys. I mean, I think you know this, but I'm going to ask it rhetorically for the audience. Can you have good without evil?
Yes. No.
How would you define it?
Right. You wouldn't. You would be.
You just be. I mean, ultimately, hopefully the globe gets to that conscious state of completely living without ego, but it's getting to the level of enlightenment where you have zero ego is impossible for modern man. Dude, there's monks that do it, but then you hear about the crap the monks get up to. They're gambling and banging hookers. So what the hell's going on?
Listen to me real quick. I love the concept you're saying. I just need to hate like at least 2 or 3 people.
Right. Yeah, you can't like everybody.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. You know what I mean, Matt? Seriously. Isn't there a part of you when you see somebody and just inside you're going, man, I wish you get eaten by a polar bear. Like something like, oh, I hate that dude. Right?
You gotta have a villain. It's kind of like the movies, right? You gotta have a movie villain.
Well, then what was it?
Well, it's like positive and negative charge of a battery. You can't have one without the other. Yin and yang. All balance of the univerce is good and evil, negative and positive, black and white.
And look, the minute we put on, the minute we all put on these white robes and walk around this enlightened state, one guy's going to come around with the machine gun, and then we're all screwed.
Look at these idiots. Am I the only one who's greedy and horny? I'm killing everybody. I'm taking their women.
Yeah.
You know, I do think throughout time, I don't know if the concept, here's what I think has happened finally with humanity. The concept of being the baddest MFer on the planet and peaceful. This is a new idea for humans. This entire idea that, look, I want to be happy. Everybody does. But if you get out of line and make us unhappy, somebody's getting bitch slapped. And we're just telling you, we're the baddest dudes right now.
Peace through strength.
Yeah, I think it's a real.
That's right, Matt. Yeah, you know
I can't. Belushi, do you have another time in history where that's been the overlord? Peace.
There was a handful.
A little, probably 150 years during Rome, and maybe
how much peace was under Julius Caesar? He was very loved.
He was loved in Rome because he conquered everything around him.
Right, but there was peace after he killed everybody.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go. Yeah. So, yeah. Everybody that he found on Earth that he was able to reach, he pretty much said, "You're Roman," and they went, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I'm getting at? Like, but this idea that maybe the whole world can stop looking at ourselves as like countries eventually and start looking at us as planetarians or whatever you want to call them.
It's a great point, Mickey. You know why? Is because, like I said, if you what Trump is doing is he is allowing and breaking free countries that have the desire and will ultimately have the choice to either fade into the dustbin of history or become sovereign, self-reliant nations that will be good actors and negotiate in good faith on the world stage with each other and have a peaceful transactional relationship where all peace around them and each of their neighbors is dependent on them keeping peace in order to keep the prosperity flowing around the planet.
Bingo. That's and sadly, because we are humans, we need somebody to kind of go, all right, you're gonna do it.
That's like, what we have. That's what we have Kim Jong-un for. We'll just keep him up there, and he'll be the ghost boogeyman that everyone gives a pat on the head to. Oh, Kim Jong-un's still around. So
you know what's gonna be hilarious, dude? What if at the end of this, he like July 4th, right? Trump makes a big announcement, the world's at peace, and he comes running out in DC. Hello, everybody. You know, like all happy and shit. I was just kidding. I would love to see that. I think
you know what? What encourages me, Mickey, is what I'm presenting today is how Trump is dismantling what is existing in order to get to what I just said.
Yeah,
you can't have one without the other. And you can't stand up something new without having a system in place to put it in, which Correct. I firmly believe it is in place. We're just watching the presentations and the fake fights in the Congress.
You mentioned XRP earlier. You said shout out. Is that your
that's the cross-border that's a cross-border payment solution. It's I mean, institutions, banks,
I own a little bit of it. You believe in it.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be
well, this has got to fall first, right? Yeah. And then is it dependent on that?
I believe in the utility and what I've watched them do and what they've built over the past 20 years. Yes, I do. And I think Bitcoin will have a role too. You don't seize all this Bitcoin and you don't have all these monster accounts sitting on all this capital where you let it go to zero. Now, I'm not going to get into a whole Bitcoin debate of did the CIA create it and was it an ultimate honey trap? There's some truth to that. But ultimately, I think it will be sort of a store of value-esque token that people can hold if they want to, securely grow capital over time. It's just archaic in the way you transact in it. So it can't handle the load in which like the ledger for XRP can handle for global cross-border payments. It just can't handle it.
Yeah. And I'm excited. I mean, I hope I'm looking forward to change if it helps all of us. And it frees us up and the IRS.
You know what is crazy about it? When I first read it like 7 years ago, I'm like, I read the white papers and the framework and the mission statement and the goal. Yeah. And I was like, this will change the freaking world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what these guys are talking about will change the whole world.
Yeah. Who is these guys? Do you know who it is?
Brad Garlinghouse is the CEO of Ripple Labs.
Okay.
That's
who is backing or whatever.
Yeah, Ripple is the company. XRP is the token.
That's pretty cool
for the utility.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't really know.
There's a number of them that will have a role. Like know, you're watching, they're already tokenizing real estate. Some guy in Texas already did a deal where he bought a 260 unit building. Was it Texas or Florida? It might have been Florida. He bought a 260 unit building and he released 100 tokens for it, and everybody could buy a slice of the building and then get a piece of the monthly revenues. There's going to be all sorts of stuff like that.
Wow. Hey, can we do one for this show? Because we could use it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Above the rabbit hole, we'll launch one.
Yeah.
Right, let me keep going so we can try to get through as much of this.
Go ahead.
As we can.
I love this.
So Nixon pulls us off of the gold standard and the convertibility of the dollar in 71, and then the petrodollars flood into London. So it's the oil money into the London euro dollar accounts, and then the loans to developing nations, which they can control the interest rates on, and then fees and interests back into the system. So it's a loop.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah. So it's just continual.
Just continual. Never ending. That doesn't even include the insurance.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
All right. So here's how they get away with hiding all this shit. This system extends far beyond the square mile in the city of London. Okay. So there's a ring of crown dependencies.
All the
and
British
overseas territories, the British Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands, Jersey, Guernsey, Isle of Man, Bermuda. These are all forms of their offshore web, as Mickey likes to say with the spider web, which is a very accurate analogy. So the British Virgin Islands alone, get this, you ready for this? They incorporate over 400,000 companies a year.
And it's probably all in one
territory
building, right? all in one building.
In a territory, a mailbox.
Yeah.
With a territory with fewer than 35,000 residents. How is that possible, man?
Unbelievable.
The Tax Justice Network estimates the network cost would be about 170 billion in lost tax revenue annually, because these various nodes throughout the Caribbean and in the Isles have different functions. One incorporates, one's a tax shelter, one houses this, one houses that, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how
essentially their haven for all their shell companies, all
their offshore banking, all their money flows, all where they incorporate, how they avoid tax. So the City of London's corporation itself dates back even further, just as a side note here, because we were talking about, the House of Orange and the Dutch coming over and taking over England when it was the Dutch trading company, and then it became the East India Trading Company, which is when they moved over. But this royal charter goes back to 1067, which is like the Catholic Church. And what are you seeing right now with all this hubbub with the Pope and all this sort of seemingly infighting happening around religion? Well, what is the Catholic Church controlled forever? Nobody has more property than the Catholic Church, maybe other than the Crown.
Yeah, biggest,
which has like 26% of the world's real estate.
Right.
So that's a physical asset that is worth quadrillions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not. Oh, I got Elon Musk 60. Elon Musk is paper rich. Oh, he's worth 600 billion. Yeah, if he breaks up and sells all his companies, like fires everybody, sells every Tesla he owns, like he doesn't have 600 billion dollars.
Right.
Not even close.
No.
He's living on like 10 million he gets from the bank, tax free, because he takes out a loan against his shares that he owns.
Yeah, he just, if he needs money, he just
goes. If he needs a helicopter, right? He just goes, send helicopter.
Yeah, somebody does it. Yeah. But Belushi, real quick, let's just right here is really interesting, because when you start shelling money around the world, it's literally the vaults of evil, right? I mean, that's where evil's keeping all the money that controls it. How does Trump, or how does the new system rid the world of this? We all know it's wrong. We all know it's hurting people. What do we do to just make it go away?
On chain. Everything's on chain. Everything's on chain, and it's backed, and it can't be inflated.
But can you just seize it?
Technically, like if you look at the infrastructure of XRP and how it's set up to be the intermediary between country A and country B, it's actually sovereign. Even though it's a US-based company, it's not a United States federal government tool. It's a tool the federal government can use. But again, and I hate to compare it to the Federal Reserve in the sense that it's private, but it's sovereign. Meaning it doesn't tip its scales for one player or the other. It's an equal playing field. That's what Trump keeps talking about. We got to have an equal playing field. That's what he's talking about. When you have usury and you have mechanisms to turn the dial up and down for insurance rates, for lending rates, for this, that, and the other, if you remove those and you remove the internal revenue services and you create an external revenue service where the gross domestic product of this country is based on things we actually produce,
they'll cease to exist.
It becomes very difficult to have one person have any kind of, there is no access built in for a single entity like a president to come in and just start turning things off.
Right. Yeah. But okay, for instance, the Catholic Church, all their assets in the United States, who really owns it? Them, they're a corporation, right?
I'm pretty sure that rolls up under the Vatican, but I've heard that they're broke. So I don't really know what to believe.
They've been selling other properties and consolidating.
Who's holding the paper? Yeah, who holds the deeds?
Baltimore closed 10 Catholic schools and churches in the last 2 or 3 years. One I went to. It's just stopped. A bunch of guys I know, schools closed up. These were like 100 and some year old Catholic schools in neighborhoods in Baltimore City that just gone. Do you think that the Holy See, are they going to be held accountable on a global?
I don't think you're going to see like the Pope like perp walked because he said, what are they calling it? Christian Muzzy Chris or whatever, Chrissy Muzz. I don't know. Yeah. They're trying to merge Muslim and Christianity together.
I thought it was Catholicism and
well, he's talking about Christianity and being Muslim and merging those together. Yeah. Look, you can't arrest the Pope for thought speech, but you can dismantle everything that the Catholic Church has used as leverage over the world to enact their moral policies on people.
Yeah. And
because the Pope comes out and says immigration's good, now all the Catholics in the world are supposed to walk outside and look in their neighborhood and go, yeah, Pope said that's cool. That Haitian guy who just ate a duck at the park, the Pope's cool with that. So, I mean, this is like a kind of a ridiculous question.
Just imagine being the police officer man on the scene. Now, excuse me, sir, tell me what happened again. Here's what happened, man. I wasn't going to believe it. I was just sitting here with my son throwing bread in the pond, and this Haitian man come up, snatched that duck right out the water, and just ate the some bitch right in front of me and my son. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Didn't even skin it. Oh, my God. Oh, dude, I love you.
It all started in Springfield, Ohio, man. They're eating the dogs and they're eating the cats. I'll tell you what, I mean, when dogs started dating cats, I started paying attention, man. I'm like, something's wrong here.
I tell you what, that some bitch ate the bill and everything. It was crazy. I never seen nothing like it. I stopped him at the feet, though. You can't eat them web feet. That's weird.
Yeah, so I mean, it seems to me when I look around that a lot of it's been dismantled, a lot of it's been sold off, a lot of it's, they didn't come out of pedogate too well. Like that hurt the Catholic Church very, very badly. My cousin's a Catholic priest. So I grew up Catholic. My mom's a Catholic. All the way. I mean, we're all denounced Catholics now, but some are still in the religion and take it very seriously. I mean, like. I don't really want to talk too much about my family. I won't give names, but the cousin who's a priest, he's been completely brainwashed by the archdiocese. I mean,
by the way, do you have many cousins that are priests? I know you didn't want to give his name, but
you would not believe the things my cousins do. First of all, my mom's one of 8. I have a huge family on that side, so I have awesome. 70 plus cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, just on my mom's side that are all from the North Shore of Chicago. Wow. Irish Catholic, big Irish family.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead. Yeah, no, just messing with you.
I know. I have a lot of cousins that do a lot of things,
right?
So no, but I just use that as an example because they are hit so hard with the propaganda inside the church. Like I don't know if you've seen some of these videos circulating around, like over the weekend. Some of these Catholic priests and some of these various Christian denominations are like wishing death to their congregation on Donald Trump out in the open during mass. It's like, what the hell?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, all you had to do is look around during COVID about how they all behaved. Half of them were telling their parishes to go get vaccinated. What are we talking about here? Again, the moral control of the mind.
Right.
That's the part of the triangle that is the Vatican.
All right, let's get you back on track here.
No, I refuse. All right, so control the choke points, yes. Control of the choke points. We're watching this play out right now. We touched a little bit on this in the beginning of the presentation, but Lloyd's has underwritten global maritime war risk for over 300 years. 90% of all world trade moves through by the sea, is all seaborne trade. This is just a staggering statistic.
Yeah.
The world shuts down without maritime trade. Full stop, period, full stop. So when the conflicts hit the Strait of Hormuz or the Suez Canal, the war risk premiums can spike 400% or more, sending massive cash flows directly into the city of London. So this is kind of coming full circle now, and I'm just showing you a map to illustrate. Here's the Strait of Malacca. Here's the Suez Canal, the Mendeb Strait, the Strait of Hormuz. This is like all the trade in the world, not just this strait, but all the straits combined, and all the seaborne trade is like 90% of the world's coming and goings of goods.
Yeah,
in all forms. That's staggering. And you're telling me the city of one little old city of London has the monopoly on the insurance risk premiums, and they start wars all over the world in order to keep their premiums high? Holy crap. That should be the thing you're all screaming from the rooftops about.
Sure.
And then you understand why Trump is doing what he's doing, and he's embarrassing NATO, and he's systematically taking down the European central banks and all their puppets in parliament that control the policy around this crap.
Yeah. Right.
It's insane.
Yeah, I know you guys used to try to do like a little 10-minute kind of wrap up here, so I'll go through the last couple slides here. So just to give you guys, I know. Yeah, we can go. It's fine. Man. It's fine.
Yeah,
we're good. Key numbers. Just to remind everybody: 252 years. This system has been privatized. 21 plus million barrels a day go through the strait. 95% of the world's GDP is controlled by the Bank of International Settlements. The Crown owns 6.6 billion acres, and that's outside of the Catholic Church's real estate footprint. And then, like I was mentioning before, we didn't get into LIBOR and SOFR. We probably do that on another show, but 800 trillion was before they switched off of LIBOR, was going through LIBOR and all the rates they controlled for lending. And that's the policy that gets sent down to the banks. And they do that through all of their member banks and regional central banks. I kind of went through that in earlier slides. And then, almost $60 billion in premiums. That's just for 2024. So when you here's the LIBOR thing, I'm going to skip it just because it's like, I'll take you through it real quick. So between 2005 and 2012, some of the world's most powerful bank systematically rigged the London interbank offer rate. That's what LIBOR is. The benchmark underpinning an estimated 800 trillion in global financial instruments. So the court documented that a bunch of people got caught doing this. Barclays got caught, UBS, Deutsche Bank, RBS, Citigroup, Morgans, HBC. They all got busted. And this is this big scandal that came out of really, and I've talked about this on many shows. 2008, when we crashed for good. We've only just been we've only created the illusion through endless printing and other mechanisms to keep this thing afloat. We defaulted in 08.
Wow.
We were done as a country completely. So all of the financial things that have been happening behind the scenes, whatever team got tapped when Trump was in military school, and all the various players throughout the decades that have done various things on the lawfare side, on the finance side, they've all been very quiet in the background doing things like moving the LIBOR to the SOFR, which is now controlled by the Federal Reserve. And that's why I brought up, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with Powell, because it's my opinion that Trump has been using Powell and completely has control of Powell. And he calls him Too Late Pal and gives him cute nicknames. Have you ever noticed everyone Trump gives a nickname is still holding their position of office? Yeah, they're all characters in the show.
Right.
So, this was a huge move when we went off of LIBOR. That is another dismantling of part of the system. That was a big one. And that happened in 2023. So we'll move past LIBOR real quick because I want to get to the end here.
Yeah.
So if you look at all the numbers, you look at the staggering amount of wealth that's controlled, how they do it, how the risk or the war premium really is the underpinning that is the dial that turns things up and down. The big picture. If you look at what Trump's doing around the planet, he's securing all the oil and the control of oil and energy for the globe. He's taking out intelligence nodes. He's taking out regions that are unstable. He's ending wars. I ended 8 wars. You never know another president ended 8 wars. Every single one of those places that he went to and made a trade deal with, or got the two sides to agree to do some sort of transactional back end thing to stop killing each other, was all an alternative to the current system they on, where they had no way out, just like us.
Yeah, it's I just hope when's it over?
I think when we get Israel fully outed and into whatever Israel's going to be, into the peace accords and behaving properly, and you have to get Ukraine and Russia done, and you have to stand up the trilateral deal between Russia, China, and the United States.
Yeah.
Russia, I think, is the big keystone. And this goes back to why Germany, we went to World War II over Germany trying to form a relationship with Russia. Europe couldn't have it. It breaks their whole system. Having Russia in the mix breaks the whole system on the eastern side of the hemisphere, which is not our playground. Our playground is the West.
Right. Yeah.
So we got to get the East players aligned with us and on board with the new system.
Do you think Russia is still an enemy at the end?
I don't think Russia's been a threat to us or an enemy for decades.
Yeah. I mean, do you think we are eventually allies?
I think you could call us something in the neighborhood of an ally. I mean, Russia, like I said, like I said earlier in the call, I said, Russia's flirting with the idea of enacting sanctions on Europe for LNG. I mean, Russia is, even though it's like, oh, did that Trump this morning on Squawk Box was like, I don't know. I think it might have been a Chinese ship that brought some not so nice things to Iran, right? They're playing all these narrative games. Yeah. But at the end of the day, China's going to have to play ball, because we're sucking all the manufacturing out of there. If they want to continue to be the little proxy for Europe, we'll see how Trump handles that. But ultimately, I think once you see Russia in line with the United States on global trade, it's a wrap for the rest. That's the
ultimate play, right?
Yeah.
If you get Russia and the United States as partners, the world's done. Who's going to stand up to that?
Yeah. I feel like we're essentially allies now. Anyway, I mean, common enemies, right?
Look at the values we hold. I mean, if you think about the original founding of this country, what it was founded on, what were the principles and what were the morals that were enacted by the baseline of religion we all shared? We wanted to not pay tax to the king, and we all wanted to be free Christians. That was really the net of it. That's all Russia wants too. Russia just wants to Russia.
Yeah. Yeah. They just want to Russia. Yeah. Let them Russia, man. Who cares?
Let them Russia, bro.
Yeah. I'm with you. They'll figure it out, right? They've been around a long time.
Yeah. Much longer than us. Yeah. China's been around for 5,000 years, bro.
Have they?
Yeah.
I'm joking, man.
Who's had the longest constitution, though?
That's true. We have had the longest running constitution.
We're babies on the world stage, guys.
Yeah. True.
But guess what?
Doing pretty dang good.
We did. Man, we wrestled and boxed in high school, and all we do is work out. We do is work out and crush protein shakes, and we're teenagers on the world scene, and we're ready to mingle, baby.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I want to thank Ginger, because $20 rent. I think maritime trade routes will be replaced, or partially so, by drone freight ships. We can do drones that carry ship containers of new material. Would be appropriate. Think forward. Love all you guys. Well, thank you so much, Ginger. Truly appreciate it.
I'll say this to Ginger real quick, is a lot of the ports have become automated with a lot of AI tech already, like some of the cranes and some of the different things. So you don't have to have longshoremen out there working 24-hour shifts, which, according to Elon Musk, everyone's going to have a high basic income because AI is taking all of your jobs in the next 18 months. Way to go, Elon.
Would you be against that, by the way?
Yeah, because we need a purpose. And if we're going to be a nation of producing things, humans should be utilizing tools like AI and robots to do things that we don't want to do, that are heavy lifts. but still require a human mind and interaction, and humans interacting with other humans, not computers talking to each other. Ultimately, you know, these computers, once they're bored of us, they're gonna come. The Skynet's going live. The Terminator's coming back. He's coming to your house first, Mickey. I know.
Oh, listen, he ain't gonna be a fight either. As soon as I see him, I'm like, I'm done. I know it.
You know, I was talking about this with my subscriber group last night on Pilled. I was saying, you know, I think there could be a use for, because think about Social Security for our retired seniors in this country. And Trump's, you know, made a big point. And, you know, I know this makes my parents happy and shit. I want this for, you know, I've paid a lot of money into Social Security in my career. So I'd like to get that back, and I'd like to have it not be taxed, and I'd like to be worth a lot more, because it should be worth a lot more. So I think the seniors deserve to get their money. And I think if we're going to do anything basic and universal, give everybody a stipend for a while. You've been stealing all our money since this country was, all our generations that are still walking on this planet have all been screwed.
How about this? Once we all get to the age of, say, 60, you start getting like a nickel or a dime a week. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right. No, but I mean, like, this idea that nobody has to work is really problematic for
very much so
our race of people, our human race. We need a purpose. We need something that we're working on doing and building and participating in. Otherwise, we're all just gonna die of DoorDash and whiskey, dude. It's gonna be bad if everyone just has $10,000 a month and nothing to do.
I want to thank Donna J with $1. Love y'all. Where we go one, we go all. Pebbles 23. I want my straw man money back too. I love you three boys. Thank you, Pebbles.
We got Walker 75 with a $5 rant, says, shout out for Rambo. I'm so sorry, Rambo. Hope you'll be a lot more comfortable very soon. You'll see him with his new teeth later tonight, 8 p.m. East, doing his show. And I think we gave a shout out already to Double L555, $10. Hi, all. And thank you very much.
Yeah, everybody. Thank you. Hey, Belushi, man. Sincerely, bro, this was a freaking great show, dude. I really loved it, man. I can't wait to have you back on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Brother.
I know there's more stuff we could go over too, and I'd love to do the geopolitical thing with you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this is having this basic understanding and working of the framework of how the system was set up, who are the players, how does it work, and then ultimately, I hope it makes more sense for people that have not understood certain moves Trump has made geopolitically, make a little bit more sense. And I'd love to come back on and do current geopolitics with you guys.
Let's do that.
Anytime. Yeah, Tuesday seems to be a good day. So guys, I just stood up, and if I could just plug something real quick.
You can
I know we're running short on time. Yeah.
Not at all. Go ahead.
I have a gentleman, his name is Delta Radio. He's got a show here on Rumble, and he's done a great write-up on Donald J. Trump's The DJT ticker Fusion, and I'm doing like a Fusion spinoff and Crushing Shorts. What Trump's strategy has been around that, and he's done a brilliant job writing up some real cool financial analysis around Trump's company, and that'll be today at 5:00 Eastern on my Rumble channel. So if you're not following me, it's Belushi on Rumble, it's Belushi117 on X.
Got you linked in the description, by the way.
Beautiful. And that's where you can find all my updates. So I hope I'll see a lot of you later this afternoon, 5:00 Eastern with Delta Radio.
Also, another Victoria. Thank you. $20 rant. Great education. Belushi is awesome at this. What a great compliment, dude.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to give you $10 next time I see you. I'm going to split that one with you. No lie, bro. That one had your name. All right.
Or I can just text you my Cash App right now.
That's fine. I'll send you $10, you cheap
He wants
bastard.
crypto, man.
Yeah, he wants crypto.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. That's hilarious.
XRP only.
Where do people find you all the time?
I think the best place, definitely make sure you're following me on Rumble. It's just Belushi.
Yep.
BELUSHI. And you can find me on X as well, Belushi117. And I'm Belushi on all platforms. All my links / Graham Belushi. You can find me there. And I hope to see you guys. And thank you guys. This is always fun coming on with you too, whether it's just a call in, whether it's a random Rambo call in, or it's doing a full on show. So
anytime, brother.
Come back soon, brother.
Yeah, we'll talk, man. We'll get you back in quick.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Have a
man.
great day.
Have a great day.
All right, man. That was awesome, wasn't it?
Love it, man. Yeah.
I could do that one for hours.
We're hitting the 2:00 mark. Otherwise, I mean, we could have talked to him for another hour about this.
Hands
I'm sure.
down. Yeah. I mean, God, he's so good at that. Let's see. Post Niz. I can't read today. Post Miz for $1. I sent Belushi an email. Did you get it?
Well, we can't confirm that
can't
any longer.
But I bet Belushi's still listening.
Yeah.
So, dude, check your email. All right. What a great show, everybody. Thank you.
Tomorrow,
yes,
we've got gubernatorial candidate Ed Hale, who's running for Maryland's governorship.
If you follow national news, our current governor, Wes Moore, has been making some news. He's had some exchanges with or about President Trump. The man running against him is up against the battle. I mean, Maryland's a very, very heavy Democratic state, but it's interesting. People are taking note a little bit of Ed Hale. And there's some interesting things I'd like to talk to him about. The bridge, the energy costs in Maryland, Matt, which you know is just outrageous right now. We've just got a Vax Act passed, which is horrible.
Gun laws gone into legislation.
It's really getting, I mean, they just want to make it illegal to own a handgun completely.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to ban Glocks essentially here in Maryland.
God.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. What a good show. We will be back tomorrow, 2:00 with gubernatorial candidate Ed Hale. Anything else, Matt?
I think that's it. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon East. Thank you guys so much. We're not rating Rambo today because, once again, he'll be showing up with his new teeth tonight, 8 p.m. East on his channel, right?
Showing up
with his new teeth. I'm just reading the headlines here, Mick.
Yeah, I get it, buddy.
That was the headline.
I get it completely. It's hilarious.
You guys have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. East. Thank you.